Hey everyone, this is just going to be a short video on the CMake tool that we're going to use for this course and how to integrate it with VSCode extension, the CMake VSCode extension. Okay, cool. First of all, with CMake, you are probably familiar with Make. Make is just a build system that looks for a make file in your current directory and runs the commands in the make file and basically compiles your C code, for example. CMake is similar but slightly different. CMake is not a build system. CMake is a build system generator which generates build systems like using, for example, using make underneath. But for the purpose of this course, you just need to think about it as think of it as like make, and instead of looking for a make file, it will look for a file called CMake list.txt, and it will have some instructions inside to tell CMake what to do. So first of all, you need to install CMake, and we have a coding environment set up that has instructions to do that. For a Mac, you can either use brew install CMake, but if you don't have brew, there's an alternative, which is if you can just go to the CMake download website, you can install the Mac OS CMake GUI with either one of those options. Once you have that, all you need to do is fire up CMake after you install it, and you can see a GUI here. And go to CMake GUI tools and how to install command line. There are 3 different ways, but basically with this GUI, it's not enough for us because we actually need a command line tool so you can run things like CMake, right? Yeah, so you can pick one of those to run one of those commands, and after that you'll see CMake in your path. So I can do which CMake. Oops, that's make. Yeah, so it's application CMake.app content bin make. So that's in the path. I think I used the first one. Yeah, so I just added CMake app content bin in my path. Cool. After you have that, all you need to do is clone this repository and open it in VSCode. And then we have to make sure that we have the VSCode extension set up. Yep, I already got a prompt because I already have CMake installed. So you need to install CMake and CMake tools. So with those 2 extensions installed, the first thing you need to do is, let's do CMake. So those are the commands we can run. So the very first time, or every time when you open a repository or a folder that you clone that has CMake set up, we need to do configure. Okay, looks like it's finished. And let me just go through the commands. So what are the commands? There are 2 different target that you can use for CMake. One is build target. So target. Yeah, so one is build target and one is debug target. And debug target is the one that CMake will run, and build is target that CMake will compile. So at the bottom here, that square bracket is the default build target, and the second one is the default debug target. I don't know why it's called debug, but it's the target to launch, meaning to run. So yeah, we can set debug target to one of the executables. So those ones are the ones that's specified in this file that I mentioned earlier, CMake list file. Yeah, there's some instructions, and the way we set it up, there's other CMake list files inside each directory. Yeah, so when we do add executable, it will add it to our target list. So yeah, those are just variables. So, but now you should be able to just select one of them, set debug target, and let's select the first one. Yeah, so now the target is selected, but we haven't actually run it. So we can either click this button. So that button is launch the debug target, or you can do run without debugging. And that should do the exact same thing as the run button. And now we got a little window. So if I click this run button, it should do exactly the same thing. So that's the debug target. And we can change the target if you want to run a different thing. Set debug target to, let's do something interesting. And for this setup, we need to close the terminal and then do run without debugging, or you can click the button. Yeah, I don't like to use the button because it's tiny and I have to move my mouse. So I like to just, so on the Mac it's Command Shift P to launch the command palette in VSCode. On Windows it's Shift Control P. Yeah, okay, so if you don't want to run, you just want to see if your code can compile, you can do CMake build. That will build this target. Right now is all, so we'll literally try to build every target that we specify, which is a lot. You can see build targets 4, 1, 2, not in any particular order. Yeah, but you can also do build target, which will specify a target to build, but it doesn't set it. So it's just for one, it's just a one-time thing. Yeah, so that will just build it. Okay. If you see this line, build finished with execute code 0, that means it means it compiled successfully. There's no errors. Yeah, there's no compile errors, but you can also do set the build target this time. Instead of all, we can just, if we're just working on one thing, we can just build that one and just run build. That will just build this target, which is 5. Or you can just click this button. It will do the exact same thing. Now it's only building 5. So if I close this and open it again in VS Code, you should see the same prompt. So because, yeah, every time we have to configure when we open it, yes. But then there's also this option, always configure while opening. If you click yes, yeah, you don't need to do it anymore. Now if I just run without debugging, it saves the previous target. Yep. And if I close this again and then opening VS Code, because I clicked yes, yeah, it literally just configured for me, and I can just do run. Awesome. Alright, I hope that was helpful, and thanks everyone for watching.